The presidential candidate of the LJP, who was also elected as the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, told Nightly News during the course of a recent interview that he's not quite sure whether it is a matter of policy or just a stance taken by the PPP administration, but that it appears to him that the PPPC government is not engaging enough with the citizenry and even with members of parliament, including him.
What we have right now is pretty much a consultative vacuum in the country.
However, Shuman is not the only one making such accusations of non-governmental engagement with the Guyanese people. Nightly News also spoke with the Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs in the National Assembly, Amanza Walton-Desir, who echoed similar sentiments while she was speaking about the country's climate action stance recently at COP26.
There are a number of elements, those are only two, but there are a number of elements that make up meaningful consultation. And none of those were present in the meeting that was held prior to us going to COP26. And
just recently, the regional chairman for the Region 4 Regional Democratic Council, Daniel Siram, highlighted instances where the incumbent administration, through its respective arms, had failed to hold meaningful consultation with residents on the east bank of Demerara, who reside in the vicinity where the new Demerara River Bridge is expected to land to connect the east and west banks of the Demerara River. The LJP leader told Nightly News that he recently indicated to the government that he stands ready to provide whatever support they may need to ensure that indigenous communities across the country have access to the COVID-19 jabs, among other services which may be required for those communities during the era of the pandemic.
The government seems less interested in that. The task force obviously is not interested in that. So, there's this talk about not politicizing COVID. To say that you're not going to politicize COVID and by practice you're doing the very same thing, that is duplicitous.
Earlier in September, on the sidelines of the handing over of a number of vehicles to the Ghana Police Force, the head of state was questioned by the president of the Ghana Press Association, Nazima Ragobir, about post-cabinet press briefings, which have not been held since the government took office in August 2020, to which he asserted that this issue would be addressed soon.
Sort of post-cabinet press briefings again, nothing as yet since we last spoke.
Yeah, you're perfectly correct, and this will be fixed.
How soon?
I assure you it will be fixed very, very, very soon.
Meanwhile, Amanza Desir believes that if nothing else, matters surrounding the environment, in her own words, is fertile ground for the government to demonstrate its true intentions about inclusive governance.
the environment, I believe, is a fertile ground for the PPPC government to demonstrate their commitment to inclusive governance.
Wendell Badrie for the HGB Nightly News.